If I don't give you all of me, why the hell am I here? Why? How will you learn from me? People take so much offense to me. You will never learn from people if we always tap dance around the truth. We tap dance around the truth by finding the right words so I don't hurt you because you have thin skin. No. Tighten up, people. It's okay. Trust me. It's okay. It's okay. What are you going to do now? They don't own your life. How are you going to control that now? How are you going to flip it upside down and say, Roger that, now I'm going to harness, and you'll read about me years from now. Some are actually born with some genetic freakishness. I was not. Don't forget the first 3-4 chapters when I couldn't read as a junior in high school, where I hid out, where I got beat so badly that I became afraid of every motherfucker that ever lived on the planet Earth. Everybody. I had to reinvent a human being. I sat at home for so many nights by myself, broken, not just physically, mentally, spiritually, mental toughness, strength, power. I'm like, I never eat that. But then I sat back and said to myself, I actually sat back when I was fat, nasty, out of shape, miserable, and created a human being in my mind that didn't even exist. And said, that's what I want to be. I want to be that guy. I want to be a guy that's capable of doing exactly what I'm doing today. Then you have to, if you were born that guy, that mentally strong guy, he can't be made. Woman, man, whatever the hell you are. It can't be made. But in making that person, you have to be able to turn down book deals. You have to be who you are every day of your life, and never care about anybody who gets in your way that said you're not doing something the proper way. It's all on you. It's all on you. The self part is what's big. We need someone to hold people accountable. We count on people too much to get us through. And we look to our right, we look to our left, we're looking for help. And if you can build that self, you can build that total accountability in oneself. And it's not about being selfish. I'm trying to create a better me. So hopefully people who are hearing this are taking it the right way, can say, I can run a mile. It ain't about running 205 miles, doing 4,000, being a city. It ain't about all that shit. It doesn't matter. I want you to see how far you can go. I didn't have a trainer. I didn't have a nutritionist. It was the self-discipline that I had. Thrive. No one said, hey man, you're 297 pounds, man. I want to help you out. I'm gonna help you. Hey man, you're not smart. I'm gonna help you out. I had to work at all this shit. I had to overcome, and self-discipline is everything. And if you don't have it, I don't look at you right, because I know you're capable of more. It's not discipline so much for me. It's all on you. Easier to accept the fact that I'm just not good enough. I wasn't made to do that. And yeah, some of us can't be LeBron James. But I'll tell you right now, man, we can do a lot of shit when it comes to this pure arm guts and willpower and getting to it. We have a lot more than we think we have. And this is part of the process. This is part of the journey. I had to realize this is part of my process versus just saying, like I used to, I'm just not good enough. If I'm not good enough, we always say that I'm just not good enough, and then we try something else. I'm going to make myself good enough. And that became my mentality. I'm going to make myself good enough. And so I misunderstood a lot, but that's all it came down to. I made myself good enough. And the days I couldn't run that far, the next week, I would do 2 a days on the running. If I ran a quarter of a mile, I wait a couple hours, it'd haunt me, bother me. I try to run a half mile the next time, same day. You can do more than this. If I had to walk, I had to walk. It just became just a process of grinding and grinding, and grinding is not even a good word for it. It's not even a good word for it. I wanted people to push me outside of my comfort zone every day. And I thought this was going to be the absolute best platform to do that. These guys, the stories I heard after Buds, it just gets harder. And I didn't see it that way. Buds breaks people down to the point where you don't want to be broken down again like that. To me, that was exactly the exact starting point for my journey in life. That was the starting point for me. For a lot of people, it's the finish line. And I didn't see it that way for me. So that's where I started becoming uncommon amongst uncommon people, is where I started realizing that you put people on a pedestal that you shouldn't. That you got to get in there yourself and examine people. See what's really about yourself. So once I got in there and realized, hey, these are just normal people. Yeah, they're a lot better than some. They're able to get through. I know a lot of people can get through Navy SEAL training. But, there's a lot of mystique behind all that stuff. And as you start to go through and you start to break it open a little bit, a lot of horror guys, but, I wanted more. It's who you are. You have to undo that. And no one came down and trained me on how to be happy, how to find peace, how to do this and that. That's why I'm so glad I found it through suffering. The greater the suffer, the greater the peace I found. But you have to reflect on where you came from the dungeon of hell that I came from. I had to reflect on that to find final peace and be able to say, wow, if you die in this bed at 40 years old, I'm the happiest in the world because I did it. I pissed people off along the way. Some people don't like me, Merry Christmas, whatever. But you can finally look in the mirror and don't care what they say about you, be happy with it. I mean, it was a very scary road. A guy who was afraid of a lot of things, to then find power in fear, to find power in overcoming fear, and to get to where I'm at today where there's very few things I'm really afraid of because I know how to control it. I know how to manage it. I know how to work it to my advantage now. It's something else, man. So I really challenge people to really do a live autopsy on your brain. And the reason why I talk about my childhood so much in this, because I don't want you to put a title on me. Because once you title me as a freak, you now put yourself in a position where you can be very comfortable in saying, it's just not possible for me. That's it. That's it. He's that guy. He's that special guy. Nope. And that's the thing that makes me so pissed off in this world, man. The only thing that gets me mad nowadays is that so many people die with untapped potential because they think that someone else is better than them. And they were born, not with the greatest tools. You need the ability to grind your ass into a fine powder. And when you're in that fine powder, find a way to build that back up repeatedly. That's possible. God can say, all of you who don't like me, who don't want it, and that person then comes in. But you have to be David Goggins and say, man, I'm afraid of this. Life made me this way here. I stutter. I have these issues with reading and writing, and I'm fat and I'm insecure. You have to face that in that dark room. In that dark room is who you are. But in that dark room is where you have to create another human being that walks out of that dark room to face who you are. That's the only way you're going to get over all those things. You have to create someone else. Not like you have two different personalities. It is you. But you have to find strength.